Okay, if you're a marketing manager, I bet you know this feeling all too well. You work incredibly hard generating these really promising leads,
Yeah.
and then you watch them just sort of quietly vanish. Maybe after just one message, maybe two. And that's probably not the product. It might not even be your ICP, your ideal customer profile. Often, it's this quiet killer, just a weak follow-up strategy, letting perfectly good opportunities just slip right through your fingers. So today we're doing the deep dive into exactly why persistent SDR outreach is, well, absolutely critical for B2B sales success. Our mission here is to unpack some really compelling data that proves why consistency matters so much, and maybe more importantly, how you can actually sustain it to drive real pipeline growth.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I mean, honestly, quite shocking, is the gap you see, the gap between what actually works and what most teams are doing. So you look at the data, right? It shows 80% of sales, they actually require 5 or more follow-ups, 5. Yet, and this is the kicker,
Right.
a staggering 44% of SDRs, they give up after just one touch. Just one. I mean, it's not just a missed opportunity, is it? It's like serious operational waste. You're draining resources, leaving potential revenue just sitting there. It's almost like deciding, I won't send that 5th email, but maybe that 5th one was the exact one that would have landed the client.
That disconnect is huge. So,
Yeah.
okay, beyond just hammering them with messages,
Hmm.
what does a really effective follow-up actually look like? Are we talking specific strategies, different types of touches that maybe work better than others?
That's a really crucial point because consistency isn't just like a nice idea. It actually compounds over time. Think of it maybe as the B2B version of drip irrigation,
Yeah.
a steady, consistent flow that's way more effective than just one big flood. Most reps, I think, fundamentally underestimate the effort needed to just earn attention in B2B these days. 1 or 2 touches. You just won't cut through the noise. Our sources seem to point to a sweet spot, actually. Maybe 8 to 12 touches.
Peak 12.
Yeah, well-timed across different channels, email, LinkedIn, maybe calls spread over, say, 2 to 4 words.
Okay, I can definitely see how that would make a difference. It's showing up with relevance, but also rhythm. I think a lot of reps probably just assume silence means no, right? And they just move on too
It'll
quickly.
spot on. But think about it. No response often just means it's the wrong time, not that there's zero interest. I mean, how many emails do you personally ignore for a few days, maybe longer, then respond when you actually have a moment?
Guilty as charged. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the research backs this up. Data from InsideSales, their XNT, now found that 50% of sales happen after the 5th follow-up. And GrowthList reported nearly 80% of sales close somewhere between that 5th and 12th touch.
80%, between
Yeah.
5 and 12.
Right. So if your SDRs are only chasing those really quick wins, they're essentially burning leads that would convert later with just a bit more consistent, maybe lower pressure follow-up.
This definitely brings up a big operational question, especially for you listening as a marketing manager. If internal teams often struggle with this persistence, I mean, how do organizations actually tackle that bottleneck? How do you ensure that consistent follow-up happens?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's a challenge lots of companies face. Your internal SDRs, they often wear just too many hats, Research, calls, emails, updating the CRM constantly, meetings.
Yeah, the list goes on.
It really does. And that leads to time constraints, constant task switching, consistent follow-up gets pushed to the side. Doing all that outreach manually, it's just not sustainable. Leads straight to burnout. So to improve things internally, you probably need to focus on optimizing workflows. Maybe better training on tools like SalesLoft or Outreach.
Those sales engagement platforms.
Exactly. Platforms designed to automate and manage these kinds of sequences and ensuring dedicated time blocks just for follow-up. Plus, really robust CRM hygiene and clear visibility into your cadence metrics. If you can't see what's working, you definitely can't fix what isn't.
Okay, that makes sense for internal improvements. But what about other routes, like outsourcing? How does that fit into building this kind of consistent system?
Yeah, that's where many marketing managers are finding a pretty powerful solution, actually. Our sources really highlight that outsourced SDR providers, they're often built specifically for this. Their whole model is structured, scalable, consistent outreach. They can run those 10, 12, even 15 touch cadences, predictably, across multiple channels.
Is there specialists in persistence?
Essentially, yes. And this doesn't just fuel consistent lead gen, it often comes at a lower cost, too. You might be looking at, say, 30–40% less than hiring internally. Plus, often faster ramp-up times. And they usually come with built-in accountability, service level agreements, SLAs, so you get clear performance expectations and reporting.
Right, the structure is baked in.
Exactly. So maybe a final thought for you listening. Just consider, how many sales are you already losing right now? Just because your follow-up cadences aren't really optimized. Think about the actual tangible pipeline you could potentially unlock just by implementing structured, multi-channel, persistent follow-up, whether that's, empowering your internal teams with better systems and tools, or maybe engaging outsourced specialists who are literally built for this exact job.
That's a powerful question. Ultimately, understanding and applying these metrics means you protect those valuable inbound leads you work so hard to get, and you ensure your outbound efforts don't just stall out after one or two tries. By really perfecting persistence, marketing isn't just delivering volume anymore. You're delivering quality leads that actually convert. And that builds internal trust, right? And creates real, tangible social proof of marketing's impact on revenue.